In 2010, I first came to India. I was volunteering in a shelter home for children that were being rescued from the streets. This boy was brought in. He had physical and mental disability. He looked like he was basically going to die, but we surrounded him with love and care. He started to walk on his own, he started laughing, and it was beautiful. But then one day, that shelter home decided that they didn't actually have space or didn't want to give the resources for a child with special needs. So he was sent to the only home in Delhi, India for children with special needs that have been abandoned by their families. They don't give them baths, they just hose them down. They're drugged so that they can just sleep all day. And then when I tried to go and visit him about a month later, I was told that he had passed away. And that's when I decided that I could do something for these children. When I first started this work, I approached the leader of a very big organization who kind of prides itself on helping underprivileged children. But the response I got when I said that I want to open this home for special children was, there's no return investment on these children. I told all of my friends, my family, I'm gonna do this. And people's response was, how are you gonna do that? And I was like, I don't know, but it's gonna happen because it needs to happen. And my vision was to make it a family environment, that it wouldn't become an institution. Children need a family. We had a lot of opposition to our work. A group of people from another organization who saw us as like a competition for funding, they stole everything. They didn't leave like a single grain of rice in that house. They left the children and they left the cross on the wall. I was getting messages and emails and people were threatening my life. It was a scary time. I knew that I couldn't help 1,000 children. I couldn't rescue 1,000 children, but I could rescue one child. And that's what I started with, one child. My name is Courtney Lalotra. I founded an organization called One Life to Love. Since 2010, we've been rescuing children in India who have special needs that have been abandoned or orphaned. I run a home here where we welcome them in and we provide them a family-like environment.
There is such a great need. The sheer numbers are so great. The need is so big.
And a majority of children living on the streets have some sort of mental or physical disability. So you find in Delhi that there's so many organizations that cater to street children, but there's no person or organization willing to put in the necessary time and resources to address children with special needs.
The problem with medical care in India is that a lot of people really don't have the awareness.
Most people from underprivileged communities, they don't even know what are special needs, what are mental and physical disabilities. So imagine an uneducated mother and father who are making enough money just to eat for the day, and then they have a child with so much need, and then the community doesn't really accept, the community doesn't really support, the families even don't accept the child. And a lot of times they blame the mother and father for having a child like this. So they feel that not only is it a shame, but it's also a burden that they just simply cannot bear. They either, abandon the child or they lock them away and hide them from the public eye.
एक्चुअली में कोई ऐसा हादसा हुआ कि बच्चे मतलब हमारी जो मिसेस थी बच्चे उनको छोड़ के चली गई और हम पे बहुत ही बुरा समय भी था।
Shiva and Shivan's father actually came to us. He was the father of 3 children, all with physical and mental disabilities.
मैं कह रहा हूँ मैंने इतनी प्रॉब्लम देखी है कि बच्चे को मैंने बहुत धक्का खाए हैं स्कूलों में और हॉस्पिटलों में बच्चे को बहुत दिखाया, लेकिन जो ना कोई मुझे ऐसा नहीं दिखा कि मुझे कोई सहारा मिल सके। क्योंकि देखिए यदि मैं बच्चे को रखूं तो मेरे लिए काम वर्किंग नहीं है।
lot of these parents are poor and they cannot take care of their children in the way these children should be taken care of. If he would go to work, there would be literally no one to even give food or water to his children.
अब देखो इनको देखें कि मजदूरी करें और फिर ऐसे गांव देहातों में ऐसा होता है कहीं कहीं मजदूरी नहीं लगती है तो क्या करेंगे। अब ज़्यादा हो गए, पहले लड़कियों के पीछे ज़्यादा बच्चे हो रहे हैं।
Ruchi is a 10-year-old girl. I used to see the girl with her baby brother in her arms and then her little brother walking, holding her hand. The 3 of them used to roam around the streets, barely dressed, covered in dust.
नहीं, जब वहाँ फिर रहते थे तो कबाड़ियों की तरह घूमते थे, कुछ नहीं था इनको। अब मैं एक जने को कपड़े किसको ले दूँ बताओ। 1 हो 2 हो तो उनको बर्दाश्त करें, 4-5 बच्चे हैं, कहाँ से क्या कर पाएंगे।
Pooja came to us. She was completely neglected by her family. 18 years old and she weighed 38 pounds.
पहले से मैं इसको छोड़ के मैं काम पे भी जा सकती हूँ। पहले तो इतना तकलीफ था परंतु मैं कुछ बोल नहीं सकती हूँ। ताला में बंद रहती थी, मुझे भी अच्छा नहीं लगता कि मैं अपने बेटे को ताला में बंद करके जाती हूँ खेत में, पीछे क्या होता क्या नहीं होता।
Pooja's stepfather actually had the intent to kill her because of her disabilities. We have a boys' home. We actually cannot keep girls here overnight, but we decided she couldn't be locked in a closet all day like that. So we started a daycare program for Pooja and other children like her.
कुछ हो जाएगी, बन जाएगी तो इनके पीछे पीछे हमारी भी जिंदगी पार हो जाएगी ना दीदी।
Ruchi is the one who was basically the mother to these children. Then I said, why don't you come to our house in the day, you'll get clothes, you'll get food, and you'll get an education. Initially, Shiva, he couldn't speak at all. He just would not speak. They were malnourished, they had worms. They were distraught also, just being alone all day long.
But with time, with good environment and love and care that they got at our organization, now the little one has started to talk.
पहले ऐसे नहीं थी, पहले तो ये कमरे में पड़ी रहती थी, उठती भी नहीं थी, चलती भी नहीं थी। इसको खाने पीने के ऐसा नहीं होती थी, तो ये कमरे में पड़ी रहती थी और गंदगी में रहती थी। अभी साफ सुथरी रहती है, जो कोई आते जाते इसको प्यार करते हैं।
It's just 3 months later and Pooja is like almost unrecognizable. She's a different person.
हाँ, फर्क है, बदलाव है इसकी शरीर में। जानने लगी है कि ये मेरी माँ है, पापा है, भाई है, बहन है। हेलो करती है, घर जाके घूमती है, खाना भी खाती है टाइम से।
She loves to sit on the swing in the afternoons. She can do that all day if you let her. She could just sit on the swing and she smiles and she literally lights up the room.
सब सही रहते हैं, अच्छे रहते हैं यहाँ पे। तो जिस दिन से यहाँ आने लग गए तो बच्चे सारे सुरक्षित रहते हैं मेरे, उनको कोई दिक्कत नहीं है।
Before, Ruchi had that baby attached to her hip, but now the house mothers, they pitch in and they take the baby when he's crying so she can focus on her studies. So she gets to be a child here. Otherwise, she never would have had that opportunity.
These are the kind of children, that we really want to work with. We really want to, get them out of the pain and misery and kind of give them the joy of childhood.
One of the hardest things for us, I think, was finding good people to come alongside us and care for these children.
You need people who have the heart of a gardener of nurturing a flower, literally they are like flowers, they're very delicate.
Today we have a very good team of women. They're called our house mothers. They act as the mothers to the children. They do everything that a mother would do, and they do it with love and compassion. These women also have their past tragedies and difficulties. They're all widows or divorced from very abusive situations. In India, widows, or even a woman who divorces her abusive husband, they're ostracized from society. So they don't find work. Even their own families disregard them and abandon them. So they're alone. So in a way, it puts them in the same boat as our children. And I think that they've also found a refuge in One Life to Love's home here.
अपनी मम्मी की तरह हम उस बच्चे के साथ रहते हैं। मेरी को अपनी बच्चे जैसे लगता है, उनके साथ रहती हूँ।
At the heart of our organization is literally working tirelessly for these special needs children. But we really don't want to be bound by our vision. We would literally, help anyone, who needs help.
Education for girls is seen almost as an unnecessary expense in a lot of cases for families who are poor.
Seeing a great need for girls' education, we have started an education program.
If a woman is educated, then her children will be educated. She has such a better chance at having a healthy pregnancy, healthy birth, and the children will be healthy, and the whole community and the whole nation benefits as a result. And then we also do relief services. There's a lot of families who are homeless and living on the streets. They don't have clothes, they don't have a safe home. So we provide blankets, we provide warm meals, and just a helping hand. A lot of people come to us for they need medical attention, they need surgeries or medicines, things like that. Then we provide it, we help them. Even before I started out, when I was just a volunteer, I used to draw in my diary like a little map of the campus and where I would put the girls' home and where there would be like the cafeteria where everyone would come and eat lunch, and then where we would have the boys and everything. So it's just always been my dream.
I think going forward, our needs will increase. We'll have greater needs because these children will grow up. And literally our vision is to be with the children, support them for life.
Because they've already been abandoned by their own families and communities, and I refuse to abandon them. One day they're going to be adults, and they most likely will not be able to live independently. They'll always depend on us. And I know there are so many children like Pooja, so many girls who are locked away, who are being abused, who are being abandoned. She's going home every night. We don't know what kind of conditions she's going home to. Our goal is to create a home just like this boys' home that we have, but a home for girls like Pooja and others like her.
Day by day, the number of children in our home are increasing. We'll probably have to set up a separate education facility for them.
You know, if we really want to reach that goal of having the campus where we have our girls' home, we have our boys' home, and we have our old age home for children that, you know, grow old with us. You know, the cost is really not that much. It's $500,000 to buy the land, build the houses, and, you know, have the whole vision there.
We are not only looking for like major donors, but like every dollar counts. With that little donation, you can literally be a part of a little child's life.
We don't have an office in India, we don't have an office in US, we don't invest in fundraising, we don't invest in marketing, we invest in children's lives. So your dollar is literally going to every child, like 100% goes to these children. They need the most love, care, and attention because they're completely vulnerable, but there's nothing for them. So One Life to Love has become their refuge, and it's almost like the only refuge in Delhi for these children.
यदि मेरे पास रहेंगे तो फिर भूखे प्यासे रहेंगे, क्यों मैं उनको टाइम नहीं दे पाऊँगा।
मैं तो ये चाहती हूँ बस लड़की ठीक ठाक रहे, थोड़ा सा आगे से और मतलब थोड़ा सा बोले, थोड़ा सा और बस ठीक हो जाए।
कुछ दिमाग आ जाएगा, हमारी ज़िंदगी तो खराब ही है, पर बच्चों का भविष्य बन जाएगा ना।
Thank you all so much for helping One Life to Love change the world one child at a time.